Good evening, guys, and welcome back to the FPL Duo. We are back for Kneejerk stream, reacting to Game Week 36 and also looking ahead to Double Gameweek 37. But yeah, what a weekend of football. Hope you guys have enjoyed your bank holiday weekend so far. How are you doing today, Jordan?
Yeah, all good so far this week. Nice bank holiday. The football's been obviously snakes and ladders, but yeah, there's lots to talk about, I think, so far, and the game week is not over yet.
Yeah, we're gonna break it down, guys. Talk through Game Week 36 first. How it's gone so far. Because yeah, it's been an interesting week for sure. So let's kick it off with my team. So as you guys know, the transfers I made this week was just the one transfer. I bought in Kyle Walker, and I took out who was it now? Van Heck.
Van Heck.
Yeah, I took out Van Heck. So let's start off with my goalkeeper, Petrovic, Chelsea. Another clean sheet for Chelsea. They've been looking really good recently. After after their loss against Arsenal, Chelsea have found some sort of form. So I'm very happy to have Petrovic in goal because comes away with a 6-pointer, which is nice after getting the clean sheet in the 5-0 win there in the end for Chelsea against West Ham. That is now back-to-back clean sheets for Petrovic, so it's quite big because he's actually sort of saved me from a red arrow potentially. Come on to in a sec. Moving into the back three, as you guys know, I did say Vardiol is a better pick, more likely to get you an attack in return. Vardiol gets an assist due to the penalty, but I went Walker in the end due to the minutes in the double. So unfortunately, I picked the wrong Man City defender, but I'm quite happy anyway that Walker should play in the double. So we'll see how he does. But yeah, just Ederson being Ederson, conceding again, and Man City not managing to be able to keep their clean sheet. In terms of Gabriel, I was quite happy as well that Arsenal did manage to get the win. Looking at the Arsenal game, 3-0 in the end looked like a comfortable win for Arsenal. However, we know Bournemouth probably should have had a goal in that game. Solanke, very unfortunate to sort of be ruled out of that fixture. So they had a goal ruled out against Arsenal. But yeah, Gabriel, 3-0 Arsenal comes away with the win. So yeah, happy days, clean sheet. Newcastle, however, did concede again. Unfortunate. 4-1 against Burnley. I don't know how. I didn't watch the game. But yeah, that was quite annoying to see Newcastle not manage to keep the clean sheet. Moving into the midfield 5. So returns from everyone in the midfield so far. Obviously, Bruno, you get to see what he does. Looking at Son, first up. Son, again, against Liverpool. I thought Liverpool are a much better team, really, when you look at it. Just 2 seconds, Jordan. I'm gonna be back because I need to get a charger for my laptop. Just one moment, because
Okay.
I just realized out of battery at the moment.
No worries. Obviously, while Huss does that, we will obviously wait for him to return. But obviously, in the meantime, we'll take a comment or two. So Tricky Tree says evening, 107 without up to 33k. Well done, Tricky Trees, on that. That's a big result. I think there's a lot of 100+ points this week from a lot of people. But yeah, good work.
Yeah, sorry about that, guys. I just had to get a charger. But my laptop was running out of charge. Yeah, Son. I mean, for those that didn't watch the game, Liverpool was sort of all over Spurs in that first half. Liverpool kind of took a lead, 4-0 up, and then Liverpool sort of took their foot off the gas. Richarlison comes on. Richarlison had a good cameo, getting the goal and an assist. Bit sloppy for Liverpool in the end, sort of as I said, took the foot off the gas, and then Spurs come back, score 2 goals, which if that, you could sum up Liverpool season in one game, it probably would be that fixture. But yeah, Son again, 7-pointer, which I'm quite happy about getting a return in that one. And also, obviously, Richarlison, for those that still have him, done really well as well. Palmer, again, has been consistent, scores yet again in another fixture, comes over with 8 points after his goal as well in the 5-0 win, which was good to see. Saka, very happy that I've kept Saka because we know a lot of people have sold him. He's quite a low-owned player near my rank. So again, happy with the 10-pointer he got. Got the penalty. We know that wasn't a penalty. So a bit lucky there because I thought Havertz did sort of die for that one, but got it anyway. Scored the goal. Also got the clean sheet. Got the 2 bonus points. Comes away with a nice double-digit return as well. We know Bruno is currently flagged, but it looks like he could play tomorrow night. So we'll see what's the deal with Bruno if he does start. I'm hoping he does. He doesn't usually miss many games, so we'll have to see. If not, I've got Højlund on the bench, who will come on anyway in return. But I do need a big week from Bruno because Jackson, as you guys know, the one player I was looking at for the last couple of weeks, he's gone quite big recently, and he had the double coming up as well. So yeah, that's the only sort of down, like, not the only negative really of my team. Gordon again comes away with an assist in an away fixture because we know some people saying away from home Gordon doesn't return as much, but he did get a return, 1 assist, and he got a clean sheet point, I believe, as well, because he was subbed off before the goal was conceded, so which was nice. Comes with a 6-pointer. And then up top, let's start off with the main one, Haaland. He just absolutely destroyed the Wolves. I think one of the biggest scores of this whole season, really. And obviously, it's just a massive performance from Haaland, getting the 2 penalties, and then he also get the other 2. Lovely header as well. For those that haven't watched the header, just like a salmon, just rises high, no chance you're stopping him. And it's one of those games. I had a feeling where Haaland could go big, so I didn't want to risk the captaincy on another player this week. I just thought because he's at home, going for the league title. Obviously, he's got good history against Wolves as well, scoring in the hat-trick against them last season at Etihad as well. So yeah, just a big score for Haaland, and it's one of those where it's just I know there was a lot of captaincy. Let us know who you guys captained in the chat, because I know this week was one of those weeks where a lot of people did go different. Some people went for Foden. I've seen people go KDB. There was Palmer captainers and things like that. So yeah, it's one of those swings, but hopefully you guys didn't get too much of damage. But yeah, Haaland went big, and I'm glad I went there and just captained him. And if to complete it, obviously Isak a bit unlucky. Us owners obviously missed a penalty, which was frustrating. However, straight after his penalty miss, he did score from open play, which was nice. He comes with a 7-pointer in that win. I think Newcastle got a big 4-1 win. Surprisingly, only got the 1 return. Should have had another one, obviously, in a big win. But we know Wilson's back now as well, so that sort of changes Newcastle's attack slightly. But yeah, very happy with the Isak and Haaland, forward line. Then on the bench, obviously Kelleher didn't play. Højlund plays tomorrow night. He could be an auto sub depending on Fernandes' situation. Pedro Porro conceded 4 goals against Liverpool, so he was never going to play for me. And then Gusto actually did end up getting 1 point because he came on for the last 7 minutes in that fixture against West Ham. So Gusto is now actually back from injury. He played 7 minutes. He was included in the bench. So I don't know what that means now for game 37. Do I keep Gusto? Because he is probably going to play 1 game now, but I don't think he's going to play 2. That's the problem with Gusto. But I could just chance it and keep him and just get the 1 fixture out of him. So that's one debate to have now, because obviously we know he was injured. But yeah, I was surprised to see him back in the squad so soon. But yeah, that's the team so far, guys. 97 points. I should get 100 points. Any return that will give me 100 points. If Bruno or Højlund blank, then it will be 99 points. But I'm hoping, Bruno can. I mean, it's a decent fixture for Bruno against Palace if he starts. So yeah, 97 points all out, but you know what I mean, all out for today. with Bruno to come. And yeah, up to 30k now. It is another small green arrow. I think that's now 7 green arrows in a row, I believe, or 7 or 8 green arrows in a row, if I'm not mistaken. So yeah, it's been a good climb up recently. And yeah, I'm hoping to keep it going. Game week 37 is a big one for me because I'm gonna have to take hits, and I don't know where my rank's gonna be at because there's some players that I want that I can't get to, and we'll discuss it in a bit. But yeah, so far, can't complain. I just about got the green, so I think my safety is 97, and I've got 97, so just about getting the green. But it should be a bigger green, assuming Bruno returns. But yeah, that's the team, guys. Let us know how you did in the chat as well, guys. We'll read out a few of your comments in a bit as well. But yeah, let's move on to your team, Jordan. Because you had an interesting 36 to 6.
Yeah, it has been quite an interesting game week. Bit of a disaster one, but let's go through it because it looked really good until the Man City game happened. But let's start off with Leno in goal. Obviously, he got 6 points for his clean sheet against Brentford in that 0-0 draw. And unexpected, but that was probably the best result I could probably get from that, because if we just talk about Reguilon, who obviously played against him, also got a clean sheet in that 0-0 draw. And he also got bonus free, Reguilon, which was even better. He did get a yellow card, though, alongside it. But yeah, it's a nice result in terms of playing both of them two together in the team. Obviously, moving on to Walker, this would have been a clean sheet if Ederson didn't make a mistake at the back. And obviously, Wolves did score from that mistake, which, even though Man City won 5-1, it was looking like all my defenders, including the goalkeeper, were going to keep a clean sheet until that point. But yeah, it's a bit unfortunate, I think, especially when I just brought Walker in for this game week. And lastly, in terms of defence, Gabriel, he got his clean sheet against Bournemouth. I felt Arsenal really controlled that game. Bournemouth didn't really have a leg to stand on, and they looked quite out of it. And yeah, Arsenal just blew them away at the Emirates. So they got an easy 3 points there, and they continue with the title race in the hopes of obviously City dropping in any point of this time until the end of the season. But let's move on to the midfield 5. So again, it's been a nice week in terms of midfield 5. Gordon got his 6 points. He assisted, obviously, one of the goals. He got a clean sheet point and ends up on 6 points. So yeah, nice result again from him. Obviously, Bruno Fernandes, hopefully, fingers crossed, he plays tomorrow against Crystal Palace away, but we have to wait and see what the lineup is. Moving on to Palmer, again, he scores again, another goal. It's pretty early on, I think about 10 minutes into that game, and Chelsea were already off on the mark, and then obviously they finished 5-0 against West Ham. So I was expecting a big score from that game, because West Ham have been conceding goals left, right, and centre. And also he gets a clean sheet point as well on top of that, Palmer. But it is no surprise, Palmer is a goal machine at the moment, and it just shows he can score from open play as well as penalty kicks. Moving on to Saka again, he's shown his consistency for Arsenal, scoring again, clean sheet and a bonus 2 on top of that. And yeah, I think a lot of non-Saka owners are a bit frustrated, I think, because again, Saka, another double haul. That's back-to-back now. He got the 12-point in the last game week and now the 10-pointer. So 22 points missed out in 2 game weeks for non-Saka owners. And lastly, Son in the midfield completes it with his return for one of the goals against Liverpool in that 4-2 loss. That was quite a funny game to watch, because it looks like Liverpool was sailing pretty much through the whole of that game. And then in the last 20 minutes, it's like both teams swapped alternate roles, and Liverpool playing like Tottenham for obviously the last 20 minutes, and Tottenham were playing like Liverpool for the last 20 minutes. So it was quite interesting and funny end to that game. But yeah, it looked like Spurs were trying to get themselves back into that game, and they may have been well off if Liverpool were a bit more relaxed in that game. But yeah, either so, it's nice to see Son actually get a return in terms of my team, because I've not had that many since I transferred him into the starting 11. But moving on to the front 2, so obviously Højlund plays like Fernandes tomorrow against Crystal Palace away in the Monday night fixture. So I just lose Isak with his 14 points because I captained him. It was a bit unfortunate and frustrating that he missed a penalty though, because that could have bolstered me a bit more if he did get that second goal. But he did get an assist alongside it, so I guess that works out. He did play around 76 minutes, and even with Wilson back, I was quite surprised that he took the penalty. Unless Wilson came off, but let me know, guys, if Wilson did come off. Otherwise, it is a bit weird that Isak took that penalty in that game. But yeah, Newcastle go on to win 4-1, and they seem to have found a bit of form late on in the season. And just quickly on the bench, so Areola surprisingly got 3 points, even though he conceded 5 goals. But again, he did make a lot of saves. I think he made 9 in that game, so that did outweigh the negatives. Solanke blanks in his fixture. Branthwaite managed to get an assist in that 1-1 draw against Luton, which was quite good at Branthwaite again. And Doughty obviously blanks because he got a clean sheet wipe against Branthwaite. So I have got 2 left to play in terms of Man United assets left, but so far this game week I am on 68 minus the 4, which I took a hit on this week, so that's 64 points so far for me, and it is a staggering red arrow because obviously I don't own Haaland because I did take him out, which I obviously regret now doing it, but I never thought Haaland would score 4 goals, even though he's been pretty lethal this season. Not as lethal as he was the first season coming to this, obviously, Premier League, but I never expected him to score 4 goals against Wolves, but maybe hindsight, he did score it last time, a hat-trick against them. But yeah, my old rank was around 126k, now dropped down to just the 200k mark, so about 80k red arrow for me. And yeah, I think at this point, it's just having fun with the game. Obviously, that's a big miss, obviously, on Haaland getting that massive haul. But yeah, it's the way it goes in terms of the season. There is some big sweeps and swoops up and down. But yeah, we obviously move on.
Yeah, I mean, hopefully we get a better double game week 37 because there's not long left now for the season. I think if you're still chasing, you're going to get chances to catch up, go different if you can in this week anyway, because 37 there will be opportunities to go different. But we're going to discuss it, guys. We're going to bring up our teams, our bus teams for double game week 37. So let's start off with my team quickly. So this is what I'm currently lining up with my bus team. Let me zoom out actually. Sorry, guys. Not zooming out. Can you see that a bit better? Yeah, there you go.
A bit to the left. Yeah, that's perfect.
So this is my team. As you guys can see, I have already activated my bench boost. I clicked the button already. I am bench boosting in double game week 37. In goal, I do have Petrovic, who's got a double game week against Forest and Brighton. So his 2 away fixtures, but Chelsea are on back-to-back clean sheets in the last 2 games, which does bode well. Back 3, again, all doublers. I've got Kyle Walker, I've got Pedro Porro, and I got Dan Burn. Now, I can see a clean sheet for Man City. Possibly 2, possibly. I think they will concede against Spurs, but they'll probably win both the games, but we'll see how that goes. Porro, you can see clean sheet against Burnley, possibly. Maybe an attack and return, but against City, there's no chance they're keeping a clean sheet. Burn, again, home fixture looks decent against Brighton. Man United away could be tough in terms of a clean sheet, so we'll see. Midfield 5, I've got Son, Fernandes, Gordon, Palmer, and Saka. I think the fixtures I'm quite happy with. The other, Son's got Burnley, which is a nice fixture out of the 2. Fernandes has 2 home games. Quite happy to own him for that one if he's fit. Gordon, again, not bad games, especially the away from home on the counter-attack against Man United. Don't hate it. And then, obviously, Palmer is on form. He's a lock pretty much in every team. And then Saka's the one, actually, the single game week player who's got Man United away. Now, Saka is in my transfer plans. So, Saka will be going out my team just because I want to bring in another doubler. And I'm looking at another Man City midfielder, whether that's KDB or Foden. Saka will be going out my team this week, even though he's been really good in the last 2 weeks, obviously getting 2 back-to-back double-digit returns. Up front, Haaland, Isak, says it, sort of play themselves. Obviously, Haaland coming off 4 goals. He's going to be my captain again. Bit boring, but Fulham and Tottenham, Tottenham are shipping goals everywhere. I think that's like 14 goals conceded now for Spurs in their last 4 matches. Who knows what Haaland can do against Spurs? So against Fulham, another game, they're going for the league. I'm sure Man City won't go easy on these 2 teams. And then Isak, again, he's on fire at the moment as well, scoring every week, it seems, as well. So I'm quite happy with the 11, the way it looks. It's just Saka I need to take out. There is slight issues with the bench, as you can see, because I need to take a minus. I have to take a hits this week because there is a few players that, like Kelleher, we know he's not going to play. Alisson's back. So Kelleher has to go to another goalkeeper. Right now, I'm looking at Kelleher to Onana, the Man United goalie who's got a double against Arsenal and Newcastle. Again, I'm not sure of a clean sheet for Onana in any of them games, but bare minimum, he should pay off the hit just by appearance points. He should pay off the hit because he should get 4 points. And if he does get a clean sheet, it's just a bonus. So I'm probably going to do the goalkeeper move anyway. I could bring in Vicario because Vicario's got Burnley at home in one of the fixtures. So Burnley at home may be more likely of a clean sheet, whereas Onana, you don't really see a clean sheet in those games. So I've not ruled out Vicario and going triple Spurs that way, even though Spurs defense looks like a shambles at the moment. Højlund is another interesting one because originally I didn't want Højlund in my team. The only reason I opted for Højlund was because when I wildcarded in 31, Jackson was on yellows, the 9 yellows. And that put me off going Jackson. But now it seems obviously he's past the threshold. And we see what Jackson did today, getting a 16-pointer, 2 goals and an assist. I'm slightly worried about Jackson not owning him for this double because if I want Jackson, I have to take a minus 12, essentially. There's no other way I can do it because I'm already tripled up on Chelsea. I have to take Gusto out to another defender and then open up a slot to go Højlund to Jackson. So that is what I'm considering, guys. Is Jackson worth a minus 12 for my team? Otherwise, I can get away with a minus 8 and play Højlund on my bench boost, who's got 2 home fixtures. Because Man United play Arsenal and Newcastle at home, but I'm not sure what I think of Højlund against those 2 teams. I think both those 2 teams are looking a lot better than Man United right now. I do want to see how Man United play against Palace tomorrow, if Højlund looks involved. But when I watched Højlund this season, a lot of games he's not been as involved. Even his goal involvement numbers are quite low. So yeah, I'm tempted to go minus 12 and just take Højlund out. But let us know, guys, would you do it? Would you do the minus 12? Gabriel, I'm going to play him on a bench boost. I'm happy he's got a single game week. It's more game week 38 fixtures, quite nice against Everton. So Gabriel, I'm happy to have him on the bench boost. And then Gusto, again, now he's back from injury and he came on for the last 7 minutes. He could actually get one of those games. He might start Forest or Brighton, sorry. So maybe it's not a necessity to take Gusto out now because he's going to get 1 game. But if I want Jackson, I have to take him out anyway for the triple up. Or what I can do is Gusto to someone like, I don't know what defenders I'd want. Dallo potentially. Got 2 home games, but again, no clean sheets. You can't see a clean sheet for Man United in the double. You could go get another Arsenal defender in, like a Ben White, who you don't really see a clean sheet against Man United. Maybe not, but gaming 38 fixture is quite nice. So having Ben White and Gabriel for gaming 38 isn't a bad fixture. But then bench boosting with 2 Arsenal defenders with a single game week against Man United, I don't know if that's the way I want to go as well. So I'm actually not sure what I want to do with my transfers. The ones I'm set on, Saka will be going to Foden. That's 100% going to happen. So that's my free transfer. And then it's whether how many more tits I take. I think Kelleher to Onana or Kelleher to Vicario is going to happen. So let's say it's Kelleher to Vicario. So if it's Kelleher to Vicario, then that's a minus 4. If I do Gusto to, I don't know, another defender like Dallo, Gusto to Dallo, that's a minus 8. And then if I really want to do Højlund to Jackson, that's a minus 12, which is that becoming too much now? That's the problem, because I want to see what others think in the chat as well. What would you do in my situation, guys? I'm on a bench boost. Kelleher, I have to get rid of him. Hoyland, I prefer Jackson considerably. And Gusto, again, is probably going to play one game if I'm lucky. And I need to take Saka out. Or would you keep Saka and not get Foden in? But I don't think that's optimal. I think you'd want another Man City doubler in there just because 2 games, etc. So, yeah, that's where I'm at the moment, Jordan. What would you be doing at the moment? Would you be going -8 and ignoring Jackson? Or would you go -12 and get Jackson in? Because we saw today, 16-pointer. He also got, I believe, a 12-pointer in game week 35.
Yeah, you also got another huge double haul, I think, in 35 as well. But yeah, I mean, just going back to obviously goalkeeper picks, I think I would prefer going to Onana instead of Vicario, because I just see Spurs conceding a lot of goals, and even with Onana not keeping a clean sheet, you could possibly see Vicario maybe get 0 or even 2 points from both those double weeks, and I feel like they're just going to concede a lot, even though Burnley at home maybe not.
Burnley, I think Burnley might be a clean sheet, possibly, but it's one of those you're more hoping the fixture.
Yeah, because there is still fight for Burnley. They're not completely ruled out of relegation, so there will be. I think it will be tough for them to obviously win that and keep a clean sheet. But yeah, the Man City one, they could throw about 6 goals against Spurs and throw obviously that point difference in another direction. But yeah, I'll probably throw Onana. Man United are very unpredictable, and you never know with them. They could just, I don't know, throw out a clean sheet against Newcastle, even though it doesn't look likely. But that's been Man United this most of the season. But yeah, I think I would probably do the -12 move, as much as that sounds very, very risky. So I'll probably bring Onana in, probably bring Jackson in for Hoyland. Gusto probably in for, I would say, obviously Trippier or Livramento, but we don't know if one or the other's going to play or not. But you've already got Triple Newcastle as well.
Yeah, I can't get Newcastle.
Yeah,
I could do another Spurs defender like a Van der Ven, or I can do someone like Arsenal, like a Ben White, with a single game week against Man United, but then he's got a game week 38 fixture against Everton at home.
Yeah, so it's a bit of a. What about Brentford? Yeah, Sheffield United at home. That could be a nice single game fixture for a clean sheet.
Yeah, it's not bad. Brentford doesn't have a bad single game, but if I'm going to take a hit for a defender, I would only bring in a double game week defender. It's just too risky taking a hit for a defender for a single. I just don't think it's worth it. I think if you're going to take a hit for a defender, you have to do the double just to cover you in case. You can't predict clean sheets this season, it seems. It's just so unpredictable.
Also, in the unlikelihood, if Bruno Fernandes isn't going to be fit for that double, let's just say, do you have any alternative plans for him in case of that?
Yeah, I mean, it depends. Obviously, Bruno Fernandes I don't think he will miss the double, but if he does, then obviously that changes things a lot. You know, Bruno Fernandes is confirmed. You know, we get confirmation that he's going to miss the double, which I don't think we will. But again, I could go to Richarlison. I'd probably bring in Richarlison or someone. Well, I don't know who really, but that's where I'd go. Or I could do KDB. I could do KDB because obviously Bruno's a lot more expensive, so I can easily bring KDB in if I want to go that route and then ignore Foden. But I think I want Foden. So let's take a few comments as well, guys. Do let us know what you would do with my team on the screen at the moment. I'm 30k ranked at the moment, so taking a -12 does sort of. Do I feel like I need to take that much of a risk? You know, because I'm quite happy with my rank at the moment. Do I need to go chasing even more? But then other people might in a better position than me. They might already have Jackson, and can Jackson go big? Because you look at the fixtures, Nottingham Forest and Brighton, and they are 2 away games, but they are much better fixtures than Newcastle and Arsenal. So those slightly worry me. Let's see the comments. I don't know if you read any of these out. Evening Huss, 106 with Mateta and Henderson to go. Overall rank 1.1k. And still number 1 in the FPL Duo League. Yeah, Fatali smashing it this season so far, in the top, nearly in the top 1k. So, yes, that's mad. Tricky Trees have 14 doublers and White for the bench boost next week. Play White or sell for a doubling Dallo. I'd play White.
Play White.
And then he's got a nice fixture in 38 as well. Isaac has scored previous pens and possibly kept for that reason, and also going for the golden boot. So Tricky Trees.
Yeah, that was the question in relation, because I said because obviously Isaac took the penalty while Wilson was on the pitch, but yeah, that makes sense now. Thanks for that, Tricky Trees.
Best 37 goalkeeper and then like a free hit team from Michael. I mean, in terms of the best goalkeeper, I would say Petrovic, probably. I probably would go Petrovic. Because back-to-back clean sheets for Chelsea and Forest, Brighton. You may get one clean sheet. If not, I would maybe even go Vicario. I know Jordan's not keen on Vicario. I'm not really keen on Vicario either, but Burnley at home, you'd think is a good fixture. On paper, is a decent fixture for Spurs. Because I don't like Man United's fixtures. I know there are 2 home games, but I can see Arsenal scoring, and I also see Newcastle scoring. It's whether Onana might get save points, so he might rack up save points and get bonus that way. I don't know.
Yeah, or maybe Edison. He's second, probably best.
Yeah, my bad. But assuming you don't want, Edison is the best, to be fair, I'd say. But assuming you want 3 outfield Man City players, rather than, Edison's not bad, shout, but it's just annoying. Edison, the mistakes he makes with, so many times the Man City should get a clean sheet, and Edison's just cost them like a consolation goal. A hit is fine for an injury, or you're getting an extra game, but I wouldn't take out a doubling Højlund for a hit, which says Tricky Trees. Just a question to yourself, Tricky Trees, in regards to that. How many points do you think Højlund gets in that double? How many points do you think Jackson gets? And is it more than 4 gap? Because if it is, that's where I'm maybe it's FOMO now, because I've looked at Jackson. He got 16 points this week in the last double. I'm just trying to see how many points he got in the last double. Hold on, guys. Let me check. So he comes away with the 16-pointer today. And then before that, in game week 35, wasn't it? Yeah, 35, he got 8-pointer. He got an 8-pointer, which isn't massive, but 8-pointer in 35, 16-pointer in 36, and then double coming up. I think he's going to he'll score at least 1 in that game. So with Højlund, I'm so down on Højlund right now. I just think he's such a bad option. Maybe I'm just, No,
but it does make sense, because Jackson gets a lot of the chances. I think you said to me earlier, Huss, he is similar to what Darwin was last season. He had so many chances, but always
missing them.
But we want the player that gets the more chances than the player that doesn't get that many chances.
I've said that with Núñez when I was sort of defending why to bring Núñez in, because I'd rather have a striker that gets a bunch of chances and misses than a striker that doesn't get any chances, so he won't be in a position to score. So for me, Højlund, guys, look at the stats on here. So in terms of the goal involvement, okay, he didn't play against he's playing Palace tomorrow, my bad. But against Burnley, he played 64 minutes. He had 0. He done nothing. He had no goal. He had no expected goals numbers, no expected assists. Against Sheffield, he did score, to be fair to him, but had an expected goals of 0.6. But after all these other games, he's playing 90 minutes and getting 0 at the striker, 0 expected goals against Bournemouth, 0 against Liverpool, 0.06 against Chelsea. These are terrible numbers. And I know it's not all his fault. Obviously, Man United don't create as many chances for him, but that is sort of where I'm at with Højlund. I just think he might be worth to switch and take a hit to get him out, to get in Jackson. And you take a comparison to Jackson, even taking into consideration Jackson's misses, Jackson is going to get chances, because you look at his expected goal involvement, 1.79 against West Ham. Against Tottenham, 0.58. In the draw against Villa, he still had 0.39. He is still getting 0.4 to 0.5. When there's Højlund, on the other hand, is getting zeros, where he's not even getting a shot off in matches, which for me is more concerning. But yeah, I'm gonna have to decide what I want to do with that. But yeah, it does seem a bit strange taking out a doubling player for another doubling player. But I don't know, maybe reactionary as well. So
But I
after
think,
seeing what Jackson did today,
yeah, I think this occasion it's an exception to take out a doubler for another one, especially comparing those stats between two forwards. I know both teams haven't been the greatest this season, but if we compare it like that, where Jackson's getting a lot of more chances, more in goal involvement than Højlund is, then that does make sense. And obviously, knowing where the points are going to come from during this double game week and where the points aren't going to come from.
I want to give Højlund a chance, though. I am going to watch the game against Palace tomorrow, see how he plays. Because if he's not getting any chances again and his Man United are just sort of just lucking their way through matches, which they do a lot, I will have to consider it. But I know Tricky Trees is, saying it's effectively Jackson v Højlund +4. Yeah, that's the discussion, guys. Do I do, Højlund to Jackson, even though, Højlund had a double, and Højlund does have 2 home games as well. Who should I get in, Chalobah or Gusto? I wouldn't be bringing in Gusto, I don't think. I just don't know if he's going to play both the games. Brighton kept a clean sheet against Villa for Bruggen. I mean, Brighton were pretty good today, to be fair.
Yeah, I couldn't believe that, because honestly, they had a goal that was ruled offside from Pascal Gross, and then they missed a penalty, but then luckily João Pedro heads it in after the goalkeeper parries it away.
Spectacular second half of the season, Huss, says David. Yeah, thank you, David. Definitely turned it around sort of since, I'll say, game week 29 is when it started. The run, I think, was about outside of nearly 200k. So it is possible, guys, to change your season around, very in a short period of time, because you can double game weeks and chips and things. You can, if you're not happy with your rank, you still, with the double coming up, change it around. Korshal says best Maguire replacement. Don't have a City defender. Newcastle, Chelsea slot with 2 free transfers. Don't have a City defender. I'd get a City defender in if you don't have one, and especially if you've got double City. Then someone like Vardiol or Walker. If you want to play it safe, go Walker. Vardiol, I prefer Vardiol anyway. Personally,
it was interesting because in that Man City game, they both played together on the pitch and starting. So having both might not be a bad idea. Risky, but
yeah, I wouldn't have double defense for Man City. No chance. I'd go have at least one. But yeah, it just depends how are they going to start both again in the double. I think that's why I went Walker. I played it sort of safe. But yeah, I think Kyle Walker for yourself, Koshal. Chelsea in form, playing weaker opposition. Go for it, Huss. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking as well now, because Chelsea have now gone above Man United in the league. Obviously, Man United can go back above them. They play tomorrow. But Chelsea are playing a bit better than Man United, I think it's fair to say. So that does, come into my thinking as well. And Elliot says, hey guys, hello, Elliot in the chat. How you doing?
Hello, Elliot.
But yeah, Jordan, back to your team, your boss team. Just quickly read us through your 11 and then your initial plans as well in terms of transfers.
Yeah, so here's my team on the screen. So in goal, I've gone with Areola. It's got a nice fixture against Luton at home, but West Ham has come off a final loss. So yeah, so it's hard to tell whether that's going to be a good fixture or not for him. I've gone with the back 3 of Reguilon, Walker and Gabriel. Obviously, Walker has the double and the 2 singles from obviously Reguilon and Gabriel in back 3. Midfield 5, you've got Gordon, Bruno, Palmer, and Son, all on the doubles. And then the single game fixture, Saka, whereas Man United away. And the front 2, you've got Isaac and Højlund, both obviously double fixtures for them 2. And I am also on the bench boost as well this week with Leno, Solanke, Brantford and Doughty. Not the ideal bench boost, so I think it's kind of obvious that I will be taking a lot of transfers again this week. And yeah, to improve that bench boost a little bit more, because I'm not very keen on Solanke against Brentford, especially Leno against Man City. That's definitely a no. And Doughty against West Ham away, even that, not all great. They're all single fixtures as well, so I do want to include some double gaming fixture players in there too. And obviously his current captaincy is over Palmer at the moment. I'm still not set on that, so that could change. But yeah, there's going to be some drastic changes, I think, to this team. So there might be possible -8 or -12 coming into this team.
If you just quickly go on a planner, what are you
Yeah.
thinking in terms of transfers for this week? What are players taking out? Who are you bringing in?
So yes, move on to the transfer page. So yeah, in terms of goalkeeper, obviously I'm going to take out Leno because he has a very poor single game fixture. In terms of goalkeeper picks, I am thinking of bringing in Onana as one of the selections. It's not great, I know, but I just want to see. It is going to be different, and obviously I'll be surprised if Man United can pull a clean sheet out of one of those double game fixtures. Obviously, Doughty, I'm not happy with him either in the team, so he's going to be out because he has got West Ham and not very keen on that either. Potential replacement for him, I was going to go risky and go with a Livramento, but with Trippier maybe coming back in that double game week fixture, I might not go for him. So instead of obviously Livramento, I could opt to go for another obviously defender, possibly I'm not sure what defender to replace Doughty with. That's worth going for. Who has a double? So
I think you got to prioritize attacking transfers rather than defensive ones. Personally,
the only forward I can replace is Solanke because
yeah,
obviously Isak and Hoyland have doubles.
Yeah, Solanke and Saka, I think, should be your priority, getting out those two, and then doing the defense after. So Solanke to a doubler like a Jackson, but I know if you don't want Jackson, if you want to bring Haaland back in, but obviously, I mean, it depends on your strategy really. Because are you trying to chase still? Are you going to still go without Haaland and just go for it? If you do, Jackson isn't bad. He's got good fixtures. Saka again, I think you got to go bold. Maybe Foden and KDB, something like that, sort of thing. I would be doing if I were you, especially if you don't go without Haaland. If you don't have Haaland, then I would go Foden and KDB, sort of thing. But again, it's still risky going without Haaland.
Plus, the other thing is I can't have Foden and KDB because 4 of the midfield already have doubles, so I'd have to take Palmer, Bruno, Gordon, or Son out as well to fit both in. So it has to be one of them.
You definitely got to go in with KDB, or I think just to be different, maybe even captain him to cover your City, possibly. If you're still going to back against Haaland and go different. I don't know what your plans were in terms of midfield. Were you going to bring KDB in, or are you looking at someone else?
I was looking at someone else completely different. This was for Brighton. I was either thinking of one or two midfielders.
The thing is, though, I think you could, by going just so different, I think you could destroy your rank even more. Like just trying to be different for the sake of being different, rather than just going for players that are just going to do, get you points. That's what I think as well. So there's a balance there.
That's a difficult thing now because I'm 200k rank. It's not really sure what to do now. But I could go De Bruyne in the midfield, then that Man City midfield's covered, or Foden, one of the two. In terms of forwards, I was considering Wilson to be different because he is back now and probably back on penalties over obviously Isak. So he could be another option because they both played. So I assume and hope that they do the same thing where Eddie Howe chooses to play them both in the double again. So I can obviously see Wilson scoring in that double game week as well, and his ownership's only 2.8. So
stuff like that is, if you want to chase something like that, could pay off. What's their fixtures? Their fixtures aren't bad, are they? Newcastle's.
Oh, for Newcastle,
Brighton and United, it's not bad fixtures, I don't think, for goals.
Yeah, it's not bad for goals. It's away, but still good because Newcastle do score a lot of goals in the matches, whether they win or lose. And that basically completes the attack because they're all double now. Midfield and
triple Newcastle's interesting, but they are scoring goals. And if you need to go different, then I mean, it depends. Obviously, you can also bring in someone like another Man City different player. Like if you're not keen on Son, because Son's got City, you could bring in a Bernardo or a Rodri or whoever. Like depends how different you want to go and how many hits. That's now -4, right? That
It's -8.
-8 already, and then
Yeah,
you still got Doughty,
yeah. Still got Doughty. Still got
Braithwaite.
obviously Braithwaite. But I mean, I don't mind Braithwaite as a single
Yeah,
game.
Braithwaite's fine. I think. Yeah,
It's just really Doughty, and I like Regulon because he chose attacking threat.
yeah,
But yeah, it's just mainly Doughty, I think. At this point.
yeah, and then maybe you could bring in, I don't know, an Arsenal defender. I know they got Man United, but the 38 as well, decent fixture. If you want a doubler, you're looking at, you could go Brighton, but they kept a clean sheet today, to be fair.
They did look good, but I don't know if they can keep that up.
Yeah,
they haven't kept many clean sheets this season.
Yeah, no, they haven't.
Like
you can't get Newcastle. You could get double City defense.
Yeah, I could get double City defense.
You could go double City, even though they've not doing Edison's a bit suspect, but you could go double City defense because most people have gone. You could go Vardio and Walker. Hopefully, they score goals or something crazy, and obviously you're looking to go different now.
Yeah, but Vardio did get an assist from that game, even though he didn't get a clean sheet. So he does obviously get forward a lot when he gets a chance. So yeah, that could be a way to go instead of double. Obviously, Man City attack could go double defense instead, but. Yeah, that will be a -12.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's a big hit for Double Gameweek. Whether it pays off or not,
yeah, it's another question.
Yeah, it's hard to tell. Because again,
you can go many routes though. You can even do something like Alvarez, depending on if you hear minutes and things. Should go really different. Haaland will probably play, but I mean, Alvarez might get one. I don't know. Might come off the bench, and he came off and scored. But Newcastle triple attack is interesting because I don't think many people will be going there.
I do like it. Yeah, I do like the pick. When I saw obviously Wilson back in the team, and then him scoring again, plus played decent amount of minutes alongside Isak as well, I was quite appealed to that, and he was definitely in my transfer plans in terms of forward line. So yeah, I quite like that option. It's just the rest of the options, and I mean De Bruyne, yeah, he's good move, but is it really gonna get me up the ranks if I go for
if you captain him, and then Haaland's got a blank, basically, you need Haaland to blank, and then KDB sort of gets like 2 goals, a couple of assists. You need KDB to have I mean, KDB did actually last season or a couple of seasons ago in game week 36. When he got like some people triple captained him that week, and I remember he got like 90 points. He ended up getting 30 points on one. Someone remind us what season it was, but I remember a couple of seasons ago, KDB did go big in game week 36, I think it was.
Yeah, that would be nice if he does it again, because yeah, I might even potentially captain him to make up for the transfer to bring him in that case, because yeah, I could go Palmer. That's going to be obvious template and not really going to be much significance. So
I think Haaland's template. I think Palmer won't. I mean, Palmer will probably be second popular.
Second popular over.
Possibly.
But yeah, it won't be much in it.
I would go KDB in your position. If you're chasing, I would go KDB captain. And then I would probably do Wilson and then see how it goes.
Yeah. But yeah, that's what it's looking at like so far. That's obviously might change come near the deadline, obviously, because of news, whatever you might hear. But yeah, that's what it's looking for. -12, just to elaborate.
Yeah. Elliot got 2 free transfers and Van Heck in my team. What to do before bench boosting? Look, if you've not got Dan Burn, Newcastle defender potentially. I like Dan Burn. I think an Arsenal defender is not bad, even though they've got a single game week because they've got Man United. Sorry, they've got Everton in 38. You could look at someone like a Man City defender if you've not got one. You know Spurs, even Van der Ven. I know again they're not keeping clean sheets, but they've got Burnley. Fatality says I like Wilson as well. Sherwin says KDB can go big. And yes, 2 seasons ago, KDB scored 4 goals against Wolves. I remember that one. That was a big swing, that one, whoever had KDB that season. And Obafemi does say Almiron is back, so potential maybe rotation and things in the front line, possibly. But yeah, in terms of my team, I just feel like in my position, taking a -12 is a bit crazy. But I've seen double game. If Jackson goes and scores 3 goals and Haaland blanks, it's gonna be a big swing. So
Yeah,
that's
perfect.
the risk.
Yeah, probably could see that happening. It wouldn't surprise me if Haaland does blank and Nicholas Jackson goes on to score an hat-trick in his double.
Even if one game Nicholas Jackson just scores 2 goals against Forest, blanks against Brighton, let's say, and Haaland doesn't do anything, that is my worry. But Haaland just does 0, he gets 4 points. But again, I'm gonna wait and see. But right now, I'm more tempted to just keep Haaland because I've kind of laid my bed with Haaland. Sort of like I've picked him. I should just stick with him now rather than trying to bring Jackson in. It's just unfortunate, obviously, Jackson on the yellow cards. That's what made me sway with Haaland in the first place. But Haaland's ownership is, only 6%. So he's much more of a differential than Jackson. I don't think many people will be looking at Rasmus Haaland in this week. Most people would be going to a Jackson. So if he can, in any way possible, outscore Jackson, then he would be a massive, rank gainer. If he has a big double, then he could get me into like a top 10k if Haaland goes big. Those are the sort of moves and a bit of luck you need. But Sherwin says Jackson will definitely score. I think he will as well. So that's the problem.
This is the moment where this is typical FPL. Jackson goes and blanks in both game weeks, and Haaland scores a brace in his double game.
Yeah,
that's just typical things
that
that
would
happen.
be mad. Yeah,
it's always the FOMO that gets us going. Like we saw it with Foden at Sheffield, we all captained him for that, and then he blows in blanks.
Yeah, I am getting some Jackson FOMO. But I think when I see Man United play, it's just I've not been interested in bringing Haaland in. Like he just doesn't look involved for me. But it could easily change. But in terms of the rest of the team, Saka to Foden, I think that's a no-brainer for me now. Just bringing another doubler. I could even bring KDB in, I think, but I think I prefer Foden. Anyway, but I think KDB obviously has that explosive potential if you do manage to bring him in. I like KDB a lot, and in a double especially. Watkins to Haaland or Saka to KDB. I am top of my mini league.
Well, this depends if you want to stay top of your mini league. I'll probably go Watkins to Haaland, but if you are sort of chasing your rank in general, then I'll do Saka to KDB.
Yeah, Watkins to Haaland more safe.
Yeah.
Obviously, Haaland's going to be massively captained, I think, this week. That's obviously another one, Jordan. If you go without Haaland, if he can easily score another 3 goals between the 2 games, obviously.
Yeah, he is more than capable of doing that. It just felt like when I took him out at that point before he scored those 4 goals, before obviously that game week started, it just felt like Haaland was. I know he's been pretty good this season and he can score a hat trick anywhere in any game. He just seemed so like passive.
He wasn't getting the big hauls because he got a 10-pointer against Luton in 33, but before that he hadn't got a double-digit haul until game week 24, which is against Everton. So if you look at it, since then he's not had massive, but it's always he can do that at nothing at home.
Yeah, but you see where I'm going with that, where I didn't see that coming. 4 goals out of nowhere.
Yeah, I think no one saw. I don't think even the captainers didn't see that coming, but I saw at least 1 coming. Maybe 2. So it's just one of those. Like that's his biggest score of the season. I think 21 points. Yeah, it is.
Yeah, it's difficult because it's the week I take him out of.
He got a 20-pointer in game week 4, to be fair, but then 16-pointer against Man United, 16-pointer against Chelsea. But then since that, you get the 13-pointer against Everton. But since his Everton 13-pointer, it's been like, 6s, 8s, 5s, then bang, 21. So it's just one of those, I guess. He didn't have many touches, but he just converted everything. Got the penalties, obviously, as well. It was coming. He scored off the bench previous game. It's fatality, yeah. But yeah, Haaland's obviously always a threat. That's now 25 goals for the season, which seems like he's not been having an amazing season, but he's top scorer. He's probably going to win Golden Boot now. I think Palmer's like 5 away or 4 away now.
Yeah, I think they're on 20 goals. I think Palmer and Isak. Well,
also, on that subject, Jackson. I actually sent us. I was sent a stat. Jackson actually has more open play goals this season than Palmer, Havertz, and Salah. Obviously, Salah did score today, so I don't know how true the Salah one is, because Salah's got maybe another one now. So, but yeah, Jackson, 13 open play goals, Premier League goals this season. So, interesting.
Absolutely, just is. I know that fact is very true, but it just didn't feel like that was. You know what I mean? It didn't feel like Jackson has scored that many open play goals this season for Chelsea. It feels like Palmer has, obviously, but
I mean, he scored more than Palmer, which is mad, which doesn't sound believable. But Palmer has scored a lot of penalties. I think maybe, I don't know how many penalties Palmer has scored, but I'm guessing it's getting into double digits. But we'll see how it goes, guys, in game week 37. Because Chelsea have a couple of decent fixtures, I think. Nottingham Forest, you can see goals. Brighton obviously had a good result today, but they do ship goals normally. So, and Chelsea are free scoring at the moment, getting 5 goals against West Ham. Looking at their previous games as well, they got 2 goals against Spurs. They got 2 against Villa. They did get 6 against Everton as well in game week 33, which was, again, Jackson got 14-pointer against Everton in the 6-0 win. But yeah,
it's fun. Football's a funny game.
When is the next deadline? Is Saturday, isn't it? 11th. Saturday 11th. Another deadline at 11 a.m. deadline this time.
Yeah.
For game week 37.
So yeah, another 10 o'clock stream.
Yeah, I think that's everything in terms of the stream. Does anyone have any more questions in regards to your teams, guys, or your plans? Let us know how your week's gone as well, in terms of put a score in the chat. Also, let us know your transfer plans. And if you are still in the chat, guys, do hit that like button if you are enjoying the content. Always helps us out, all your likes. So just drop that like button. Also, if you are watching for the first time, please do subscribe to the channel as well. It just really helps the channel grow and get more exposure. But yeah, I'll probably just think about my team a bit more, and I could change my mind. If I see Højlund play really good, score a goal tomorrow, then I might just keep Højlund, but we'll see.
Yeah. I still think, though, Bruno Fernandes is probably the only Man United asset worth going for that double. But yeah, we have to wait and see tomorrow if that opinion changes things.
Yeah, you just don't know what you're going to get with United. That is another thing.
Yeah.
Because they can play terribly, but then they could somehow go get a draw against Arsenal or Newcastle. You never know.
Yeah.
Really.
It's a bit of a cursing and a blessing at the same time, especially as a Man United fan. Yeah. It can be exciting, but it can be also watching, obviously, paint dry on the wall.
Yeah. But yeah, I think that's it, guys, from us. I want to say a big thank you to everyone who has watched the stream. Anything else you think we missed out on, Jordan? What you want to touch on? Any other points? Or
there's probably just one more question in relation to your team. How many points do you see, bearing in mind what your transfer plans are after that? How many points do you see coming from this game week?
I'm expecting 100 points plus. Again, I should get 100 points this week. Should, if Bruno gets me at least an assist. But yeah, I would expect 100+ point week. If we get a good game week, we should get, Man City, you got Newcastle doubling up, Chelsea as well. I think it will be a high scoring week, just off early thoughts. I think the fixtures are quite nice for the teams that double. But yeah.
Yeah, that's about it.
That's it, guys. In terms of game week 36, that's out of the way. We've got one fixture tomorrow. Do tune in again. We'll be back Thursday now for the team selection video. We'll also do a bit of transfer tips as well on Thursday. So tune in it'll be 8 p.m, wouldn't it?
Yeah, 8 p.m.
8 p.m. on Thursday, and then back to Saturday as a deadline stream. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. Really appreciate it. Enjoy the rest of your bank holiday weekend, and we'll see you Thursday. Okay.
Yeah. Take care, guys. See you Thursday.
Thank you.